15 stages of intimacy. Number 1. The stages of intimacy have general patterns across realms. Older lovers pursue intimacy with attentive, apprehensive glances. Stare at a stranger for 3 seconds, and they might marry you. Once there was an engaged concert pianist who fell in love with a hairstylist. She told her mother before she told the hairstylist, and I don't think she told the fiancé. The hairstylist then said that the feeling was mutual, and now they got engaged. Eventually they got married. Greek mythological love is unquenchable, able to break any commitment. I'm extremely shy and afraid of approaching women. It took 5 years to get my first girlfriend. Love is attention and apathy its inverse. The second stage of intimacy is curiosity that the person meets your expectations. This includes exploration, absorption, stretching, and sensory deprivation. Intrusive thoughts keep the person on your mind, and exercise gives one courage. C.S. Lewis agrees that this overwhelming desire might not be sexual, just intellectual. Talking synchronizes breath to take in chemicals, and laughter conforms us socially. The third stage of intimacy, dialogue, feels like destiny and confirms biases. Share biases before becoming vulnerable, because morality is a social construct. When I eat at restaurants, I judge the conversations of others harshly. I fear pain, failure, and introspection. Self-destructiveness hides in my big shaggy, shaped by the trauma of my childhood. Most relationships are shallow because people are estranged from their inner selves. Cultures based on Christianity display a fear of commitment and introspection. Fear is cured through action, not understanding. Dialogue begins with shared interest. It then transitions to the narrative of your life and loves. I am insane to my core due to a lack of courage, self-worth, and love. My first marriage faded gradually, like an evaporating lake, as I advanced into my second. We reveal ourselves by how much we pay attention to others. Maturity mirrors goodness, and bad people project their own confusion. Marriage is the overcoming of objectification through good conversations. 16. The stages of intimacy, number 2. Washington kept indiscretions private, but gave his granddaughter relationship advice. Both fire and love are flaming altered states. Protection is embedded within passion. Shared activities and entertainment transfer energy, making couples feel closer. With the innocence of children, they begin to understand each other without fear. Alan Bloom described Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Emily's agony over Sophie quite well. Let me repeat. Alan Bloom describes Jean-Jacques Rousseau's Emily's agony over Sophie quite well. With a noble's pride, Sophie would rather reject love than accept moderation. After a misunderstanding, lovable aristocrats serve, pity, and console some peasants. Another old French writer agrees that this combustion phase of love is self-generated. The more one initially idealizes their partner, the better their subsequent marriage. Disarray is lovely. Invaded by a stranger, one loses grip on reality. Love grows during mundane moments like paying your previous family's bills. Serious intimacy requires danger, not safety. You leap into a state of the relationship discussion. Love is dependence. Roles require responsibilities, namely self-sacrifice. Once projections fade, your natural self emerges to form one gigantic crisis. My own consuming desire made me extremely reactive, jealous, insecure, and fearful. Love is frustration, and the absence of love is hell. Couples should take turns dominating each other. All couples have a central disagreement they cannot resolve and just have to live with. I felt heartbreak comparable to Native American poetry of the Pacific Northwest. Sometimes you've got to abandon idiots until they learn how to appreciate you. Forgiveness is mercy and compassion, but also rigorous judgment. MLK Jr. agrees that we should expect people to disobey the divine law of a Christian God. Vengeance is natural, and anger and resentment take strength. Don't expect complete honesty as I dribble my sin on you. Mistakes require judgment to determine the character of a person. Don't ignore the divine law of God. Endure your season of shame. Suffering matures love and differentiates the children from the wounded soldiers. I smash egos to climax, full bore, plowing fertile soil and leaving jagged stones behind. I smash egos to climax, full bore, plowing fertile soil and leaving jagged stones behind. It's a good line, right? Did you hear me? I smash egos to climax, full bore, plowing fertile soil and leaving jagged stones behind. Alan Bloom writes really well. Love's an illusion of identity and reason because you were born a mistake. That's a good line too. Love's an illusion of identity and reason because you were born a mistake. One can only feel complete through Christian conceptions of soul and soulmate. Ego can only be tamed by mad, feverish passions that drive you to ridiculous extremes. My second wife makes all other women seem like shapeless heads and torsos, arms and legs. To love is to know. Granting honor and respect has nothing to do with love, which is mostly giddiness. Although happy, I never loved my first wife, and so I had to upgrade to bigger game. I like Wuthering Heights. It's a sad book. Montaigne agrees with me that a man can love another man. It feels odd to be selfish. It feels odd to be selfless. Christian mythology and the Roman Empire penetrate completely with naked ecstasy. Yes.